custom streaming comes through the broadcast. Looks like it might. I think Jenna finally was able to go in and mine and actually schedule it. Perfect, it did. Yes. All right. How to use chat marketing to generate leads and grow your real estate brand. Oh. What's up, ladies and gents? Let's start the recording here on Zoom. How's it going? I am Jeff Broger here with my co-pilot.
Chris Mueller in the house.
That's right. And I'm actually going to text Peter to see if he's available to be the resident realtor. I'm gonna introduce you guys to Peter. Hang on one second. I didn't actually let him know, so with a little bit of planning, he would have been on here already. Totally on me. Are you available to join our weekly hot seat right now? He's like at dinner or something, like FaceTime. Yeah, so topic today is how to generate leads. I mean, that's what it all comes down to, right? So, I wanted to discuss a few things that are working right now and some tactics that you guys can use to generate leads for your real estate business. So, number one, I just wanted to cover a couple of housekeeping items. So first off, if you have not signed up as an affiliate, then you're leaving money on the table, because I already had a couple people this week that were referred from current Real Nurture members. And when it was sad, because when they came to me and I had a little strategy session with them and they're like, all right, I want to get started. I checked to see if that person who referred this new agent to us had set up as an affiliate. And guess what? They hadn't. So I had no link to send them that would have tracked. So I sent the main homepage and they checked out, and now they're a new member and they're paying, $40 a month, which you could have had 25% of as long as they're with us. So definitely sign up as an affiliate. It takes 1 minute. All you do is you put in your email and you put in your PayPal email that you want to get paid from. After that, you get paid monthly, and it just is ongoing forever, whoever clicks your link and checks out. So if you're going to be referring it anyway, if you're going to be like going to meetings and, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? And you're talking about this, you might as well just fill this out. And it's going to help us get additional users, help us train the AI. So I'll drop this in the comments here, affiliate sign up link, boom. And then next, as far as our last episode, we actually skipped last week. And the reason why is because Chris, Manuel, and myself are all working on a November 1st update. So Chris, do you want to tell them about the November 1st update?
Yeah, so we're basically going through the entire bot. We're going top to bottom, making sure that not only is it Facebook compliant for 2020, but that all these new features with the SMS and the email tactics, new condition logic that we want to put in there, all the updates that came through from the ManyChat conference, we just want to unload all of those into this new robust platform, just to make it that much more valuable. So obviously the value's there. There's a ton of nurture. There's a lot of follow-up for the clients that you guys are working with. But now we're going to make it even more robust and be on that omni-channel approach, where it's not just one solution inside of Facebook Messenger. Now we can have all those other channels that we're going to just dial out. So we're taking a big undertaking, and we're going to get it knocked out for you guys, and it's going to be amazing. There's going to be some really good stuff that we can share with you guys here soon.
Yes. And with that being said, it just takes some time to build it, right? So honestly, we've been so busy after the ManyChat conference doing exactly that, getting this ready, because now that we're adding additional complexity, additional channels to the system, everything else needs to still correlate. And that means that we are connecting the AI database to not only ManyChat, but now we'll be also tying all of the responses and the tags and all the context that we're maintaining with this human that's your lead. We're also doing that on SMS and email, so that someone can pick up the conversation in a different channel and they're all talking to each other, right? We want it to be like a seamless experience on the back end, or on the front end, on the end user experience, and on the back end that takes a lot of work. So we're hard at work. We're jamming. The launch date for that, so you guys can get excited for it, is November 1st, where we will be launching multi-channel, messenger, SMS, and email as far as for follow-up and lead nurture. But before that, you got to generate some leads, right? So that's what we're going to be covering this time. And just another quick plug, make sure to subscribe to your concierge bot. That will help you to, I'm going to drop that as well. That'll help you if you get stuck. So if you guys get stuck and maybe this is your first week, we have some new members this week, make sure that you're subscribed to the concierge, because when you message there, my entire team watches it, Chris, Jana, myself. So that's the fastest place to get one-on-one support. And then as far as in the group, you can message, comment, you can contact other agents, see what they're doing as far as what strategy is working. So that's kind of what the group is for. It's more of like a mastermind. But if you have like a quick one-on-one question, definitely just message us, because that's the fastest way to get the answer. So with that, now we can dive into the topic. Wait, I forgot one thing. What'd I forget?
Recap last week?
VIPs.
Oh.
No. Yeah, we recapped last week, but we got Brett in the house. Brett Ratkowski. Man, I'm stoked to have you. We had a strategy session a couple weeks ago, and he is a big agency owner. I think he has like 60,000 realtors on his system or something. In all seriousness, he has like 60, I think, something like that. Marketing, he's doing marketing for agents. So he is a big agency owner, and he has a full team. They've been doing real estate leads and lead gen for a long time. I got in touch with him through a friend of a friend in the industry. And long story short, the one thing that they were kind of lacking, or maybe not lacking, but they could have used some help with for their clients, is lead nurture. Hey, look at that, right? So he has jumped in. He already has 2 agents that he has now onboarded onto the system. And we're looking to just do, a couple more each week until he has everybody on the system. So stoked to have you in, man. And of course, if you have any questions, let me know. But we're just growing. We're growing day by day. I also was at the Career Compass in San Diego, spoke in front of 300 agents over the weekend, generated about 80 leads that I'll be following up with over the next week or two. And guess what? I did it all through the same system that I help realtors and marketing agencies to generate and nurture leads for themselves. So this is what we're going to cover today. And that is a good segue into the topic. So what I'd like to cover today is I'd like to focus on some of the pillars of lead generation for realtors, and then some cutting edge stuff. So kind of like two different tangents. So this is more in like my wheelhouse. Chris is going to be able to comment on this and help me out. And he's actually run effective Facebook ad campaigns in the past, but nowadays he's doing more of the building for ManyChat and way more than that on the back end. And then I'm more in the day-to-day of the ads and stuff like that. So I'm just more up on the compliance and the things that are updating and all that, all the nitty-gritty. So with that being said, the title is How to Use Chat Marketing to Generate Leads and Grow Your Real Estate Brand. Well, just this last week, I spoke about in a mastermind panel about how the most important investment that a realtor can make today is an investment in their own brand. Because if you're investing in lead sources like Zillow or Realtor.com, you're investing in their brand. If you invest in Zillow and you're paying 150, 200 bucks a lead, and you're closing 2 homes a month, okay, you're closing 2 homes a month, but you're also feeding the beast. You're also feeding a company that's actively replacing you. So at the Career Compass training this weekend, they covered comprehensive iBuyer training, and they covered Opendoor. They covered how Amazon has just gotten into the space. If you guys hadn't heard that, they covered obviously Zillow and Redfin Now, and how they're offering iBuyer offers with AI algorithms that are running constantly all day, every day, and they're going out and making offers on homes that you and taking it away from you guys. So it's not the only thing you have to be scared of is if you don't prepare for it and plan and like actually use the right tools to your advantage. So what I mean by that is if you think that you're just going to sit back and get referrals for the rest of your career, I mean, unless you're like 65, 70 and you're retiring next year, that's not going to work anymore. Yes, referrals are mandatory, like you should be generating them, but you can't rely on that as a scalable source of business. You also need to be investing in your own brand and in new business, in lead generation. So, question, would it be better to send money, your vital marketing budget, out and fund a separate business with it in order to then give you just a contact information, phone number in return? Or would it be better to funnel your ad spend through your own brand, through your own business page on Facebook, through your own outreach efforts that are branded to you, and then be able to capitalize on everything that you do, not only today, but also in the future? Well, the way that I position the question, it's pretty clear, right? The better bet is to invest in your own brand. So let's show you how to do that. Well, what I would like to do is go over straight into Business Manager. I'm going to bring it up here in just a moment. Let's see, Real Nurture, Steezy. Actually, I'm going to go. I'm going to log out of this one. Bear with me. Okay, and then go to business.facebook. Okay. Okay, we are going to go through some Facebook ads. Let's go to this, that. Okay, so right here, I was just Xing out of some disclaimers there. Right here, we have the ad account of a client, and he has a bigger budget than most of you guys. As you can see on the bottom, amount spent. He's already spent 26 grand, and a lot of that has happened in the last like 12 to 18 months. So, you know, he has a much bigger budget than most agents. He's spending about 40 to 60K a month in advertising. So this is a great case study and something to show and base off of, because this guy he's testing constantly, and he also gives us freedom to test, optimize, and find out what's working. And so right here, these are some of the things that we've been running for him. One of them is we ran this one as a re-engagement for a specific home, post engagement for the Eichler home outside of California, and then lead forms directly for an Eichler. So this is a specific type of home that it's very unique in its layout. They're all single story, kind of mid-century modern, and there's a particular type of home buyer that likes this home, and specifically an Eichler. So when this guy was selling it in Vegas, he wanted to target certain areas of the nation with this specific listing. So what we did is we uploaded just a couple photos. We didn't do a million, but we did 3. And through this, we were able to first run a post engagement ad, right? So we got 121 post engagements. And then from that, we retargeted the post engagements and generated 7 leads with an actual lead form where they gave their phone number and email and then dropped into the messenger bot. So that was a simple 2-step funnel where, what are we doing? First, we're generating awareness. And then second, we're saying, hey, this is an authentic Eichler home for sale in Las Vegas. And we not only retargeted the people that engaged, but we also created a lookalike of those people that engaged, and then we're delivering ads nationwide for an Eichler home in Vegas. So that was an effective campaign. They ended up selling that house. And so that's just one of them. Do you have any questions about that, Chris? Just to kind of like create some banter and some talk about that campaign. I mean, look, they only spent like $90.
And that's what I was going to bring up. Like, that's the point. So you spent less than $100 and that house is sold.
Right.
So could you have sold the house without that $100? Yeah, possibly. But at the same token, like, that is an immense amount of value that you're getting for some pocket change, especially if that was $1 million house, right? Like,
Right.
the commission on that alone easily paid for that Facebook ad, right?
Yeah. And in
So
Vegas, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you're getting just that much more exposure. So say they missed out on that house, they have those leads now that they can nurture for the next one and the next one. So that 7 leads may actually turn into 2 or 3 house sales in the next 12 months.
Yeah, totally. And, you know, a lot of people say like, oh, Facebook ads, they aren't as good as other lead sources, or then they say the same about Google, and then they say the same about Zillow. And it's like, if you say that about every lead source, then guess who is not following up correctly and doesn't have good systems in place? You. Because if every lead source is a bad lead source, then you're the problem. And with that being said, Aaron out in Vegas, he has great systems in place. He's been doing real estate 25 years. And I wanted to say that very directly, to not beat around the bush, that when someone comes in from Facebook and they say, oh, I'm buying, but it's next year, the average agent would say, oh, this lead is garbage, right? They're not ready. They said they want to buy next year. To me, they just said yes. They just told me that not only are they confirmed that they are buying, but they are buying next year. And now I can walk them back through the process of, okay, about what month would you want to move into your new home? May? Okay, awesome. Well, that means that there's going to be about 60 days of closing, escrow, finalizing everything. So that brings us back to April, March, right? So if you want to have the final decision done by March, then we're going to need to start looking at homes January, February, March. And if you want to start looking at homes January, February, March, then what we should really do is sit down for an appointment so that I can learn everything that you are looking for in a home. And I can start to put feelers out and line up properties right after the first of the year, right after the holidays are done, right? That's how I would approach it, based on listening to some really effective ISAs and some scripts that work. When someone says next year, fantastic, that's a yes. So great point, Chris, because yes, those 7 leads, I mean, even if they close in 3 years, which I just talked to an agent in Beverly Hills today, and he said he's come out from Minnesota to one of the most wealthy parts of the nation. And he said that he heard today, like he's heard so many times before, that, hey, great to finally meet you. I've seen you on social media for a couple of years. And he first connected with them 3 years ago through like a Facebook lead ad, or, you know, retargeting, or, you know, he connected with him on LinkedIn. He's been doing the same things for 3 freaking years. And then all of a sudden things are hitting. So what I'm saying about that is, be patient, be consistent, and focus on the lead indicators, which lead indicators are how many phone calls you're making, how many appointments you're setting, right? And in this case, it can be the volume of leads, or it can be the volume of phone calls that you're having with them and completed phone calls. So just wanted to plug that the best agents are patient, and having good systems in place helps. And that's why realnurture.io is here to help you improve your lead nurture sequence and all of the things that you do to nurture and follow up, because a lot of agents just drop the ball right there. So with that campaign, does that paint the picture of a possibility of how to promote a single listing?
100%. And I think it also explains the power of a simple Facebook ad. It didn't take a whole lot of work. It wasn't some fancy long copy that sold it. It was a few pictures. It was a connection to a chatbot that, again, it's creating long-term relationships through understanding of what that's being offered, right? It's kind of like dating. The old school, and this is a weird analogy, but go with me on this one. When you walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, do you have a lighter?" And then they say, "Actually, yeah, here I do." And then you're like, "Oh, I don't smoke." They just know that you lied to them and they're like turned off. They're like, why did you ask me for a lighter then? Like, that's kind of lame. You come up to them and you give them the direct saying like, hey, I want to chat with you. I want to get to know you better. And eventually, if things go well, like I'd like to date you. You be upfront and honest with people and tell them, this is what I do. Like you said, the systems are in place and he's consistent over the 3 years. He doesn't do something different this year. And then he's that squirrel and like, oh, there's something over there. Like, let's do that. Like, oh, there's this. He's testing things because you never want to miss that opportunity. Like Gary Vee says all the time, how he missed on Uber and all these other platforms. Like you never want to miss an opportunity. But at the same token, you don't want to be distracted by every single thing that comes around and say like, oh, that's the next best thing, or I have to do that, or you don't have to do anything if it doesn't align with your systems. Be true, be authentic. And that's what's so great about these Facebook ads is you can present a lot of you in a very small window, and you do that consistent enough time after time, that lead comes in 3 years later. And he's like, I feel like I know you, but I don't, and I've never met you, because you're being authentic and you're being a true self and you're presenting your brand and your business in a way that puts you in a really good light. And that's what people are looking for. They're looking for an authentic person that's going to sell them the house that they want and get them into the dream house that they're looking for, instead of some guy that's like, I wonder how much commission I'm going to make on this house. Let's see if I can upgrade them to this neighborhood and this house. And then all the stuff that they want to do to make the sale, instead of being authentic and helping people out. So that's what this small little thing on a big scale can equate to. It's not what you do in one day that is going to generate that sale. It's what you do consistently over time, just like diet, just like exercise. All of those positive habits lead up to a sale.
Absolutely. Momentum. And momentum is very hard to generate and get going, and it's super easy to let slide. So just keep, the thing that motivated me when I was a sales rep was focusing on actions rather than results. It's a simple mindset shift, but when you focus on results, it's a lag indicator that comes after everything. And it creates a negative emotion cycle, because when you're putting in work, you're exhausted, and then you're like, man, I've seen like no results from this yet. Well, the measure of resilience and success, honestly, is how far can you go in the same direction that you strategized and set for yourself before seeing results? How far, right? The best in the world go to the ends of the earth and they'll never stop. And with that being said, using a proven method like what we have like displayed for you, we've laid it out, we have templates, this stuff works. It's not like, oh, if I use this for the next year, I won't get anything, and maybe I should pivot and switch. It's like, that's the benefit of investing in something like this, is because it's tested and proven. So then you just put the hours in, you just put the work in. So with that being said, I wanted to now share with you this video view campaign. Is the Facebook ads showing again?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So with this video view campaign, we have 1420 Iron Hills Lane. They created a beautiful listing video for this. So if I go here and see if I can play it.
Hi, this is Aaron Taylor, the real estate.
I added the subtitles. They have a beautiful listing video with drone footage, and they invested in this. This is a luxury property. I think it was like two point something million. And this one, I was able to get 20,000 video views to the wealthiest zip codes in the nation for $100. So the problem with so much of the teachings this year at real estate conferences that I've been to is that everyone says, you got to invest in video, you got to invest in video. So what has everyone done that's at least a top agent or someone who's attempting to be a leader in their marketplace? They've hired videographers to make these cinematic quality listing videos for their luxury listings. It's fantastic. I highly support it. But when someone posts something like this and it has 100 views after you just invested what, $1,000, $1,500 into this edit, it's really sad, because there are two things that you need in order to effectively run social media campaigns and grow your brand as well as your following. Number one is high quality content. Okay, check, right? The second one is driving traffic to that content. Now you need eyeballs on it. Most people don't do the second part, if they even do the first part. So with that being said, here's another way to promote a single listing. You can show your client who you won this listing for, hey, I sent this out to 20,000 people in the wealthiest zip codes in the nation this week. And then what you do is you follow up with a retargeting campaign only to people that watched 50% of the video or more. So what that does is it shows higher intent. If people bail after the first 45 seconds, they're not interested. But someone who watched that whole 2 minutes or a minute and a half of that 2-minute video, showing a much higher intent. And so you can retarget only those people that watched more than 50% of the video with a lead generation campaign, again, and generate leads specific to this listing. So that does a couple things. Increases brand awareness, number one, 20,000 video views, and that doesn't include all the impressions. The actual impressions are higher and the reach is higher, but video views counts as someone who's watched more than 3 to 10 seconds of the video. Chris raised his hand.
So I wanted to get onto something before you got too far. Can you go back to that ad?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at the bottom of that video. There's 131 engagements, 36 comments, 41 shares. Now I guarantee you, Aaron Taylor being the busy guy that he is, unless he has a specific VA that's going in and responding to every single one of those comments, there could have been a lot more comments there. But just that in itself, how much did you spend on this one specific ad?
$100.
So just $100, and you've gotten 131 engagements, 36 comments, and 41 shares. Think about the ripple effect of that $100. But then on the same token, like this is something a lot of you guys don't know if you're not in the industry, as far as like marketing on Facebook and doing all this stuff on a regular basis. That engagement is all positive. We've got likes, loves, wows, like all of that engagement is not only going to drive down your costs on your page, because Facebook's looking at this as like, wow, this guy is really engaging. There's a lot of action that's being taken on these ads. Everything is super positive, really low cost per results. And that in itself is going to give you a better limelight for, your Facebook ads. And like you said, with the momentum, the more you generate engagement, the more likes, shares, comments that you're getting on your pages, your posts. Like even if you do, it doesn't have to be sponsored ads. You can do organic reach on your page itself. Do a Facebook Live, talk about these different things, right? That engagement is going to reduce the a number of spend that you have to spend to get the same results. It's all about that momentum, but it's also about the engagement. The more engagement, the better your results are going to be, because Facebook is looking at it as an algorithm, right? If there's people that are putting out trash content and they're disingenuine and turning off the client experience, Facebook is protecting its baby. If you were the slime that is, and I'm not calling anybody out, I'm just saying if that's what your ads do, it's going to cost you more money to stay on that platform, because Facebook, they're not discriminating. They're like, yeah, if you want to spend your money, like we're going to take your money, money's green. But at the same token, they're going to drive your bid costs up. So when you have positive engagements like this, it's only going to benefit you. And that's kind of like in the background that you don't even notice that's going to be happening. The more you run positive campaigns, you're going to have better and better and better results.
Yes, 100%. And I like how you talked about the background, because Facebook does score your account. They score each post based on engagement. So like Chris said, when people are liking it in a positive way, they're commenting on it quickly and consistently, Facebook actually gives you a higher relevance score. And it means, okay, this is relevant to the audience that it's being sent to. People are engaged. And so it actually will deliver your ad at a lower cost. So I wanted to touch on something because now that I'm looking deeper into this, I do remember that what we did is an initial $100, and then based on that, wealthy out-of-state zip codes, Aaron's preferred zip codes, and then people who live in Summerlin, which is the like wealthy area of Las Vegas where this house is. What we did is we did the initial 100, got some really good traction, and then I forgot he ended up adding to the campaign so that we could increase the overall reach and add some of these more expensive places to reach. So if you look at this, 6 cents per through play, which means they watched 15 seconds or more, 7 cents, and then this one was 11 cents because this is the wealthy out-of-state zip codes. They're more expensive, they're more marketed to, they're just harder people to reach. So it's almost twice as much as the six. It doesn't seem like a lot, 11 cents, but it's almost twice as expensive, right? So if you look at it that way, it's like, oh wow, that is a lot more. But now we can retarget these people. So if I look at video view engagement, by the way, you can go to columns right here and change the metrics that are showing, and you can even make custom columns. But with this, now I can see that on the ad set level, so we have the campaign, we have the ad set, which is all the audiences, and then we have the ad level. Well, it was the same ad, it was the same video, right? So what was changing here were the 3 different audiences it was going to. And so right here, we had 80,000 total impressions. And if we go over to the through plays, which I don't really count the 3-second plays and stuff like that, but if you go to the through play, 7 cents on average per action, because the majority of them were down here in the 7-cent range, 22,000. Look at the reach, 43,000 people reached. So the difference between impression and reach, impression is Chris could see this video and then tomorrow he sees it again, that's 2 impressions. For reach, if Chris sees this video and then tomorrow he sees it again, that's 1 reach. This is unique people. So 43,000 people that are either living in Summerlin, a wealthier area of Las Vegas, Aaron, this broker's preferred zip codes to market to, or wealthy out-of-state zip codes, 43,000. Look at 8,000 wealthy people saw this ad with Aaron's brand on it. And also 1,000 had through plays. And look at this. If you go to 50 video watches at 50%, 458 high quality leads right there. You don't have their phone number and email yet, but if you know what you're doing, and we'll show you how to do this, you can retarget those people with new ads, with lead gen ads, with future content, and they're wealthy individuals that are living in wealthy areas in out of state. United States, they might want to have a second home in Vegas. And then here we have 917 and 1700. So we had 3,000 people we retargeted from this campaign. And we were able to generate leads from that. So it's all about, going for engagement and awareness up front when you're marketing a specific listing, and then retargeting based on that engagement. And what I mean by that is when you retarget based on like a website view, that's 2012 marketing. When you go to Expedia.com and you look at a specific website and you look at a specific hotel, and then when you go back to Facebook, that hotel room is right in front of you. That's 2012 marketing. Now you can retarget based on engagement, video view engagement and post engagement. So I hope that gives you guys some ideas. I don't want this to be like an hour and a half or something like that, but for now, Chris, do you think we should do one more, or is this good? How are you feeling on this?
I would say that's a great example. We went some pretty high level stuff there, so I think it's a lot to digest. I feel that was a good episode. I feel like we're at 35 minutes now. That's what I would like to see. Going super more into depth, just doing another example. I think it would be better if we did something like next week where we talk about a different example and then kind of overview of what we talked about this week. But I thought it was super good today. Lots of good content, lots of great takeaways. Like if you got 2 or 3 nuggets from this whole thing, man, there was a lot. So you got to find them. If you missed some, rewatch this again, because there was some good gold in there.
For sure. Yeah, man, I appreciate it. So yeah, with that being said, guys, ladies and gents, if you have questions, if you want help with some of this stuff, we offer concierge onboarding. And what I'm thinking of doing is offering concierge updating as well. So if you see something in the live and you're like, hey, that looks super cool, I really want to be walked through how to do that the first time so that I can then be empowered to do it the second time, outside of just like doing it yourself and then messaging the concierge when you get stuck. If you want someone to just like walk you through it, then let us know. We could work something out where it's something small, like $99, you know, and it would allow me to put one of my team members on it or have myself walk you through how to set that up. And then we could record it, share it with everyone else. It's going to help everybody. So just some ideas, you know, if you guys want some of these campaigns set up for you on more of a done for you type of thing where we actually execute the campaign and you could like watch us do it, then just let us know. Drop it in the comments below. We're happy to. I mean, this is built as more of a SaaS product with, you know, a lot of support where it's software as a service. You pay an inexpensive subscription, you do it yourself. But I want to offer value and also make it worth it for me and my team. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, just let us know. And then what we can do next week is dive into some other campaigns, a few things that have been coming up. Can we market to luxury? Well, we just kind of showed you that, but I could dive in deeper on like strategy and how to target luxury buyers and sellers. And then, you know, if you guys, the whole point of this as well, we've been coming up with topics based on feedback, but if you guys have specific things you want to learn, let us know. That's why we send out the email to register your comments and questions. That's why we do this in like an ask me anything open hot seat kind of a setup, because we really want inspiration and guidance on how to teach you best and best offer value. So that's all I got. I'm really hoping that you guys are implementing the system, and my goal is to have you start generating your first leads, have that aha moment and be like, wow, this lead just came in from Facebook, automatically synced with my CRM, and they are now in Messenger and I'm watching the conversation happen. Like, it's a cool moment when that happens. So I want you all to experience that. Is that it?
That's it, man.
All right.
I got nothing to add to that.
All right. Well, thanks everyone. Appreciate you all. And we will see you next week at 6 as we close October up and get ready for that November 1st update. It's going to be massive. So take care and have a good one, guys.
See ya.